Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. This is Mohor Chaudhary, your host for this show. And joining me today for this show is Snehashish Mukherjee, Bharat Ramraj, and Vaibhav Tripathi. Well, one more day, one more major IPL game where the Royal Challengers Bengaluru take on Gujarat Titans for the second time in this year's IPL. The first time these two teams met each other in this year's IPL, it was the defending champions who had the last laugh. And despite a well made century from Sai Sudarshan, Gujarat Titans ended up on the losing side. Well, will Gujarat Titans be able to make a comeback in today's game, or will once again the defending champions emerge victorious? It's the Gujarat Titans' home ground, but also at the same time, we cannot forget that it's also the very same venue where RCB lifted their maiden IPL trophy. Well, we'll be discussing the game in detail, and of course, we'll be analyzing everything. But my first question will go to Bharat. Bharat, obviously, this has been a major topic of discussion for a long time now on social media and elsewhere, and that is regarding the availability of Phil Salt. He's a very integral part of the RCB setup as an opener. Do you have any information regarding what has happened to him and if we'll be able to see him in tonight's game?
Right, I'm not very sure. Uh, Based on whatever I've heard, I think he will be out of this game. Yes, a last minute call might be done where Phil Salt might be picked, but it looks like he would sit out of one more game. I've even heard that he's not in Ahmedabad. That's what I've heard. But yes, a last minute call. He might have joined the squad today, or who knows, he might be picked right at the last minute. But it looks like he will miss out on today's game as well. Maybe in the next game he would be there. I think they're taking very much a precautionary measure when it comes to pill salt. So it would, most likely, even on 25th, I had said he would most likely miss on at least 3 4 games. Although it doesn't seem like it's a serious injury, this was a report that I put up on 25th. I think I will stand by that same report that he said to miss about 3 4 games, and that could be today's game as well.
Okay, so let's see what happens because he's a very important part of the team. But Snehashish, I'll go to you next. With Phil Salt, we don't know if he's going to be available or not for tonight's game. With Phil Salt being unavailable, Jacob Bethel is your opener alongside Virat Kohli. What has your assessment been of Jacob Bethel so far? I mean, obviously he's a generational talent, he's a great player, but in absence of Phil Salt, how important does his role become at the top with Virat Kohli?
See, I think as an opener, obviously, if you see the modern template of T20s, I think the role is clear that you have to go out and maximize that power play, that first 6 overs. You go there, play your shots, and as much as you can, add those runs at the top. And then that can set the platform for the following batters. I think in that case, I think Jacob Bethel at least showed that intent. Yes, the runs might not show that the contribution has been pretty small in terms of, the runs that he scored, but the intent was there. I think in both innings, what we saw, I think the intent was there. See, it is a very high risk, high reward game, right? You go out there playing your shots 1 day or 2 days. When you're in form, everything will go in your way. But on maximum days, it might not. And I think for Jacob Butler in last 2 days, I think he started well. Few shots he looked good. But one mistake or one mistimed shot, and he was gone. So I think the approach at which I think RCB has been playing for the last 2 years, I think they will not be that much of worried about that. They know that this is the role that they want from someone like Bethel at the top, and he is trying to follow that. It's okay that he has not come up with some big runs like 40s or 50s, but the intent is there. And I think Virat Kohli has been playing that role. I think Virat has also showing that intent from the first game itself, and he's scoring at a better strike rate compared to other season. And he is also being able to continue that innings. Not only that, within that 6 overs, he is continuing to be able that at least 9 to 10 overs. So I think that has been pretty helpful. So overall, I'm not that much worried with Vedant. I think another opportunity for him if Saul doesn't play, as we discussed earlier. But again, as you mentioned, as a he has that potential of scoring big runs. But as long as he's showing that intent, the intent of scoring quick runs at the top, I think that will be not much worrying sign for RCB going forward.
Absolutely. And while we're on RCB, Vaibhav, my next question will be to you. I mean, we've been seeing a completely different RCB for the past couple of years. If you had to sum up RCB's evolution in the last 2 years, how would you sum it up in brief?
I think regarding RCB, we did a video as well before yesterday, and it's there. If you haven't watched it yet, please do. We discussed about what has changed for RCB in terms of the coaching staff, what their coaching staff, the value that they are bringing. If you talk about Mo Bobert, Dinesh Karthik, Andy Flower, whom Bharat regards as one of the finest coaches, if not the finest in T20 cricket, if you are specific to the format, and obviously Omkar Salve as well, the bowling coach. So I think what has changed for RCB is, over the years they had so many coaches, right from Daniel Vittori to Mike Hassan to Ashish Nehra, even Gary Kirsten was there. Who was the India's coach when India lifted the World Cup in 2011. So they had so many coaches, but again, RCB's team, RCB squads, and their coaching staff, they used to change every year. So there used to be every year there used to be a lot of changes. Wholesale changes never makes impact. That's what has changed, not just in RCB, in Punjab Kings as well. Look at a partnership that Shreyas Iyer and Ricky Ponting have formed with Punjab Kings. They were with DC, the same duo, and then the same duo is with Punjab Kings, and they are doing wonders. It's about the stability. Beat any team. It's about the stability, and the moment you get that stability at the top, like at the administration level, coaching level, the coaches will only calm the dressing room. If there are plenty of coaches, look at what happens to a Pakistan team. Why they are not giving the results? Because Pakistan, there is no stability in Pakistan cricket. Continuous changes there. So that is what coaches and brings to the table. Where that's what a stability does. A factor like stability does. So I think it's the combination of both things. You have brought in players and you have backed them. If you look at Phil Salt, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, when he was roped in, he was not doing well. Whether it's domestic, he was out of the Indian team as well. So but you backed him, and now Bhuvneshwar Kumar is at the top of the wicket takers list if you look at him from RCB's team. So that's what the change in environment, change in team culture has helped RCB a lot. They have found a great leader in Rajat Patidar who is very calm. Players are excelling in their departments. The role clarity is there. People are living up to their expectations. Whatever the role is given to them, they are fulfilling that. So everything is coming together. There are teams like Mumbai Indians. Everything is there, but it's just that they are not clicking. That's what Mumbai Indians is doing. For RCB, it has been the opposite. Everything planning and everything has been done, and they are executing their plans as well. That's why the results are there for everyone to see.
Absolutely, Vaibhav. You summed it up perfectly. Next question would be to Bharat. Well, let's shift our focus to Gujarat Titans a little bit. Well, they've been doing decently for the past few games. They have won four, they have lost four in the past 8 games that they've played. Their top order has always been their biggest point of strength that we always talk about, but there have been, recurring concerns about their middle order and them not being able to step up. And yeah, I mean, the recent inclusion of Jason Holder has been a very good addition to the squad. But other than that, Bharat, do you see any other change taking place in tonight's game? Because obviously they have to get back to winning ways and they have to take care of their net run rate as well.
I guess they will go with the same 11. There might be one change. Who knows? Arshad Khan might be out and Prasid might be in again. That could be the only change. It's raining a lot here. Anyway, coming back to this game. Finally, rains are back in Bengaluru. Anyway, coming back to this game. Yes, I think there would be only one change might be. That might be Arshad Khan going out and Prasid coming in. That's what a couple of other news reporters are also telling. But I don't think there will be any changes in the batting lineup. It's not just about the middle order, it's also about the top order, I guess, because when you look at their top order, there's a feeling that they have a set template, and that is to kind of score 60 runs or 50 runs in 6 overs. And then after that, they will try to set a platform, which didn't exactly help them in the game against RCB. At the Chinnaswamy, they might have still lost if they had scored 220 runs, but they would have had a better chance if someone like Shubman Gill had scored at a better strike rate in that particular game. Yes, Sai Sudarshan as well, 158 balls. It's not exactly what can you say. It's great strike rate in this day and age of T20 cricket. But still, if one player is scoring 100 or 58 balls or 60 balls, that's fine. But if the other opener is also scoring 32 or 24 balls at that kind of a strike rate, then I don't think it will help. So if they get a flat pitch, I think the top order also has to look at how they can ramp up their strike rates. Yes, their middle order, there's a problem. I think it's been talked about not just for one season, maybe for 2, 3 seasons, how Gujarat Titans' middle order has a problem or two, or a few jigsaws of the puzzle are missing in that middle order. And I think it just keeps continuing. Maybe they can look at Kumar Kushagra or someone like that in the future, near future, if it doesn't work from here on. But the likes of Shah Rukh Khan, the likes of Rahul Tiwati over a period of time haven't really fired. It's not just about 1 or 2 games. They haven't really fired over a period of time. So yes, Gujarat Titans have to look at their middle order, and in that sense, it's good that Jason Holder is getting opportunities because he's a very good striker of the ball. I think he's improved his batting.
Yeah, absolutely. He has contributed with the bat and he can also chip in with the ball. So good inclusion, I would say. Snehashish, my next question would be to you regarding RCB's bowling, especially the power play bowling, the kind of bowling partnership that we saw the previous game. And it's not just in one game, it has been going on for quite some time now. Josh Hazelwood, Bhuvneshwar Kumar wreaking havoc out there. What are your thoughts on RCB's bowling at this point in time?
I think excellent. I think the way the bowling duo bowled, especially in the last game with that new ball, I think excellent. And the clarity. We always talk about the role clarity, but as a bowling unit, the plan that they have, I think against particular batter, what kind of plan that they would love to execute, and the way they executing the plans, I think it has been fantastic to see. I think both of them have been superb. The prime Bhubaneswar Kumar that has been going around on social media, and it's really, it's so good to see someone like Bhubaneswar Kumar bowling those in swinging Yorkers and all to a left-handed batters. It's reminding of all us, all those prime years where Bhubaneswar used to lead that Indian bowling unit. But yes, but I think that has been the success mantra of RCB. We always talk about that. RCB has, if you see for the since the inception of IPL, I think apart from the last 4 5 years, it's always been the batters, the 5 or 4 batters of RCB, used to make headlines, not the bowlers. But if you see for the last 4 5 years, they have understood that to win a tournament, to do well in a tournament like IPL, you need proper bowling unit, and for that you need proper 5 or 6 bowlers. I think that they have managed to do in last 4 5 years, and that is why they have become one of the most consistent teams. If you see, by the winning ratio or everything. And I think in the last 2 years, the way Josh Hazlewood as an overseas pacer, the way I think he has understood the proper line and length that where he can bowl, and the way he is continuously hitting those line and length. I think super. Even you can see, last year when Josh Hazlewood was not there, I think Lungi Ngidi also did the same job in those last few games. I think he also came in and did the job for RCB. So I think superb. And again, what Vaibhav said, I also agree. The management, the team management have been superb. I think Mo Bobert, the inclusion of Mo Bobert, the inclusion of the head coach Flower, Andy Flower, I think have been superb. And the way they have managed to handle the whole team, all 3 departments. I am saying the batting, the bowling, and overall the fielding has been superb for the team as well. For the last 2 seasons, I think excellent. But as you mentioned, the bowling looks exceptionally well. The kind of form that bringing in this game, I think GT batters, will be kind of concerning that okay, we have to face these 2 bowlers with the new ball because I think everyone knows that for RCB, they also know that if they manage to take those 3 4 early wickets for GT, again the game is done and dusted for them. So I think again, if RCB manage to bowl fast, then again please watch out for those initial 4 5 overs. I think again both Hazelwood and Bhuvi will come up with defined plan, and they would have to execute those like just like the old earlier match.
Absolutely. And the first four,
Look
five
at a
overs
point,
are going to
not
be
just a
crucial
small point.
considering
Just
the
a
top
small
order.
point.
Yeah, yeah. Please, Bharat. Yeah, yeah, sure.
It's not just about power play overs. If you look at even the death bowling, I think they have taken 17 wickets. The last time I checked, in the end overs, they have taken 17 wickets. So even the end overs, they have been excellent. Not just those two, Hazelwood and Bhuvaneshwar. Obviously, both of them land the Yorkers and wash the feet of the batter really well. But you also have to think about Rafiq Salam. I think he has been very good in the long overs. I think that is one of the reasons why RCB have been excellent, not just in the power play overs, but also in the death overs. So a lot of credit has to go to, I think, the most underrated bowling coach going around, and that is Onkar Salvi.
Absolutely. Vaibhav, my next question will be to you. What are the key matchups that we should look out for in this game?
Key matchup, obviously, it will start at the top. If RCB, if I talk about, because RCB is a batting heavy. Obviously, GT is also batting heavy, but what makes the difference between the two teams is the middle order that RCB has. That same middle order is not there. Otherwise, if you add the same set of batters in GT lineup, GT will look like the world beaters. But it's just that GT batters, the top order, they know that they have the job in hand. They have to bat deep because they don't have enough faith in their middle order. So I think it will be Virat Kohli versus Kagiso Rabada because obviously two of the stalwarts and Kagiso Rabada has been in brilliant form. Yes, he didn't start the season really well. If you look at the first 3-4 games, he was not taking wickets. He was going at an economy of more than 10-11 runs per over. That was a big concern. Even I remember saying this thing in a Hindi show that if he continues to bowl like this, better drop him and play a Jason Holder. But now because he has
Yeah, we all said
found his
that. We all said that about Rabada.
yeah, because but just because he has found his mojo back in the
Yeah.
power play, especially the why he's been, obviously still death bowling is still a concern from him. If he finds that form which he showed in 2020 when he was with Delhi Capitals, he was at that time he was the best death bowler in the IPL. But this year it has been more about Kagiso Rabada, the power play bowler and the middle over bowler. So I think Kagiso Rabada, Virat Kohli, just because the last time I checked the stats, Kagiso Rabada has dismissed Virat Kohli 4 times. Also, because Bharat mentioned about Prasidh Krishna has dismissed Virat Kohli 3 times. And this is a ground where fast bowlers generally have done well. So I think Kagiso Rabada, if Prasidh Krishna, then Rashid Khan versus Devdutt Padikkal is also an interesting matchup because Devdutt Padikkal plays spin really well. He has improved his game a lot against pace. Before 2024 season of the IPL, he was striking at 123. If you look at now, Devdutt Padikkal's strike rate against pace, it has gone over in excess of 160. So that's a significant improvement if you look at from Devdutt Padikkal's point of view. And one more battle, if I have to send, then obviously Bhuvneshwar Kumar versus Shubman Gill. Again, very interesting battle because Shubman Gill sort of has weaknesses against nip backers, especially in Test cricket, is what we have seen. So if Bhuvneshwar bowls that banana in swinger, it could be trouble for Shubman Gill. So I think Shubman Gill, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Kagiso Rabada, Prasidh Krishna versus Virat Kohli, and Rashid Khan versus Devdutt Padikkal are the three matchups.
Interesting ones, really interesting ones. Bharat, next question is for you. Since we've been discussing both their bowling so much, RCB have, of course, a good. If you look at their power play bowlers, they have a good combination as well. GT also have a good power play bowling partnership. It has been coming up recently. Kagiso Rabada finding form. Mohammad Siraj has also been chipping in with wickets, and he's also been very economical. Their power play bowling has really been good. So, which team do you think has an upper hand when it comes to power play bowling?
Power play bowling, it's difficult to say, especially with Rabada bowling that well in the recent past. Maybe RCB have a very slight edge in terms of wicket taking ability, just because both Bhuvaneshwar and Hazelwood are not just keeping the runs down, but taking a lot of wickets. It's not just one bowler, but both bowlers are taking wickets. While when it comes to someone like Gujarat Titans, maybe Mohammad Siraj is not taking the kind of wickets that Rabada is doing. And after starting really well, they dropped Prasidh after one or two bad games, which I think was muddled thinking because if a bowler is doing really well and then you have dropped him after one bad game, then it doesn't make much sense. But he also bowls around 1 over in the power play overs. So I think maybe it is RCB mainly because not just one bowler, but both bowlers are taking wickets and they look like they are in very good form. And they're just sticking to their strengths. Hazelwood obviously will bowl a lot of back of length, hard length, and someone like Bhuvneshwar Kumar somehow got that white kookaburra ball to swing more than what you have seen in the recent past in the game against Delhi Capitals. I don't think he will get that kind of swing today, but still, I think they're a little more dangerous if you look at them as a look at them as a fan.
Since Bharat,
Yes, he
since
wanted to
Bharat,
say, yeah.
since Bharat mentioned about movement, that whether Bhuvneshwar Kumar will get that kind of movement here as well or not, I will give you an update from the Ahmedabad Stadium. The pitch on which tonight's game will be played that has a lot of grass covering, is what Owen Morgan said at his pitch assessment while he was doing the pitch report. Also, what he said, it's a mixed soil, so it's not a black soil or red soil. It will be a mixed soil on which this week game will be played.
Thank you for that update. We will look forward to seeing what happens. Snehashish, my next question is for you. Uh, Gujarat Titans, were defeated in their last game versus RCB, and also the last game that they played at this very venue, they lost to MI by a big margin. So, what would be their approach in tonight's game to come back and assert their dominance right from the start?
So I think, as you mentioned, their last game against RCB didn't go according to their plan. I think they would love to, especially from the bowling perspective, because if you see the batters did well against RCB because Sai Sudarshan scored those important runs. But again, the problem has always been the middle order. The how many runs that middle order can chip in. I think, as you mentioned earlier, that the inclusion of Jason Holder has helped them a little bit because he can hit those boundaries and he has chipped in with few scores. I can clearly remember in that RCB game also he chipped in with some quick runs. That is why they managed to cross that 200 run mark. But again, it's always been that as a unit they need to click. What has been the success mantra for RCB? When RCB batters click as a unit, they click. Not that only one batter score 80 or 100, the others is chipping with 20 or 30 runs. It's like another batters or another one or two batters will chip in with 50, 60, and that is at a strike rate of 250 or 300. See how Rajat Patida has been batting. He's coming out and scoring runs at 250, 270 strike rate. I think that has been the major difference. And if somehow they are not clicking, they have someone like Tim David in the middle order who is coming and chipping and scoring runs at such a high pace. So I think that has been the major difference for RCB compared to any other teams, and that is where I think as a batting unit, GT needs to improve. GT will need to improve. But with the bowling, apart from Rabada, as we were discussing that Rabada has been finding his form with the new ball, and Siraj also with the new ball, but with the old ball, death over, the problem has been a big concern. I think with Ashok Sharma, even Rabada, even I think Siraj, if you see the death overs, I think they have not been that much of clinical. Their plan has not looked that much, I think, clinical. They have not executed that well, and that is where I think somewhere the captaincy of Shubman Gill has also come. Has need to come. I think the way I think he needs to use his resources a little bit uh, what I say in a mannered way so that I think he can have the best option available for the last few overs. But I think these two areas they need to work on quickly. I think as a batting unit, they need to chip in collectively and the death overs. I think in the death overs, they need some work. And I think in that case, I think Prashit Krishna can be a better option. I kind of agree with Bharat. I was in that pre-match live when we got to that Prashit was dropped. Even I was shocked because one player, it doesn't matter the runs, but at least he's taking those wickets. But how can you drop a player like Prashit Krishna? It was surprising for me, but I just hope that he will be back for today's game.
You're absolutely spot on. I mean, their death bowling has been a bit of a concern. They have been leaking a lot of runs. Vaibhav, my next question will be to you before I move on to the questions from the viewers. Um, what do you think? I mean, since you had updates about the pitch, winning, whoever wins the toss, what do you think they should choose? What should they opt for?
See, given RCB the way they have been playing, whatever they do, toss becomes irrelevant for RCB, given the way they are playing, and the team structure is such that whatever discipline you pick, whether it's batting or bowling, they are doing wonders in both the departments. So, but coming to your question, I think from both teams' point of view, they would like to chase. It's a ground where high totals have been chased. So obviously, chasing would be the first priority for both the teams. That whoever wins, whether it's Rajat Patil or Shubman Gill, both would like to chase first, and more so from a GT's point of view, they would like to chase because maximum I think 3 games out of the 4 they have won. They have won by chasing, and Shubman Gill have scored centuries in all those games. So I think chasing is what GT prefers because they know if they know what is the total, then accordingly their top order batters they will set their tempo, they will pace their game. That's how GT's template has been. It's not a batting first team where all the batters can go from the ball one because you don't have the middle order. Middle order is very fragile of GT, so that's where the problem lies. So even if you post 220 and Sai Sudarshan or Shubman Gill or Josh Butler scores a century, then also it will not be enough. We have seen that on the, because Ahmedabad's ground is also very, boundary dimensions are small. Today also 72 meters straight. It's a very small boundary, 60 meters square. It's a very short boundary. So this batting lineup, for a batting lineup like RCB Punjab Kings, you all have to make those 20-30 extra runs. I won't even say 15-20. I would say 20-30 extra runs if you have to, defend the total. So I think from GT's point of view, they would like to chase first, and because Virat Kohli is there, obviously RCB will also like to bowl first as well and chase it down, because Virat Kohli is very confident. If you look at Virat's record as a first innings batter and a second innings batter, it's completely different. It's a different story altogether. But I think chasing would be the wise option if you win the toss.
Okay. We'll have the toss update in some time, but until then, we'll take some questions from our viewers. Snehashish, this question is for you. After the introduction of impact sub rule in 2023, 200 and 200 plus totals have been chased 30 plus times. Before that, such totals were chased only 16 times. The impact sub rule needs to be scrapped. We've been discussing about the impact player rule as well. What are your thoughts on this?
So I think it's a debatable topic. I think many captains and many players have talked about that. Some have talked about that it shouldn't be there, and some have talked it's okay, it's a new thing, and we have to adapt this thing. This is the way, going forward in this format, especially. But it is absolutely right, because with the introduction of impact rule, you can add that, additional batter or additional finisher to your team. And when your team is under that pressure, when you need, when you are 6 down or 7 down, you still need 30 or 50, 50 run of 30 balls. You can introduce your power hitter, by that, through that rule, and he can come and score those important runs and can win you that matches. I think that has helped the teams, clinching those high scoring wins, high scoring matches win, and I think that has been the primary aim of introducing such rules. A match where you need maybe a proper bowler to win a game, you can introduce a proper bowler, and in a high scoring game, you can introduce a power hitter at the end. But see, for me, I think it's a new rule. I think that came into this format, and for me, T20 format has always been the entertainment factor comes first. I think more than cricket, it's always been the entertainment factor. And I think with the introduction of this rule, I think the cricket in this format has become more entertainment, especially. And if you see, not in IPL, I think in every edition of BBL, they come with some new kind of rules, and it's quite, very tough to understand. Different kind of toss procedures, different kind of field. And now I think they are coming with a new rule for the upcoming season, that you can register a player only for fielding. He or she he doesn't need to bat or bowl also. So you can actually include a player like Glenn Phillips for catches. You go
So
there,
it's the
you
reverse
you
of
take.
impact player rule. It's just the
Exactly.
reverse.
Exactly. So a player like Glenn Phillips can go there, can take 4 or 5 blinders, and can win you that games. So I think different kind of rules, and in this format, we will continue to see, I think, different kind of rule going forward also. But I think nothing more to do. I think we just have to adapt. We just have to accept it and move on.
Absolutely. Yeah, Vaibhav, please.
There is another update from the ground that Arshad Khan is marking his rub. No signs of Prasidh Krishna as of now. And also, because Phil Salt is not there, and Jacob Bethel took a long look at the pitch. So again,
Yeah.
Jacob Bethel retaining his position, as Bharat also reported earlier that Phil Salt will miss this game as well.
Hmm. Vaibhav, my next question is actually to you till we have the toss update. Mohit Sidhu has written, "Bhai, acha lineup chahiye bowlers ka, but the batters make me underconfident." Like Shahrukh Khan, bhai, I don't know. Yeah, Shahrukh Khan is one such player who's come under the radar quite a bit. Your thoughts on this question?
See, I don't know what to what to make of it, but since you asked about the bowlers, I think GT bowlers, I think this is the best, one of the best bowling groups. If you'll see in this particular season, I think the only thing that they were lacking was a able partner to Rashid Khan, which they have found in Manav Suthar now. I was expecting Sai Kishore. I was seriously expecting Sai Kishore to be picked ahead of him, but Manav Suthar surprised me. Manav Suthar has been bowling well in domestic cricket. If you look at him, his numbers have been really good. But again, Sai Kishore did nothing wrong to be getting out of the playing 11 or not even being considered ahead of a Manav Suthar. So surprised by that. I think Sai Kishore the variations that he has, very few bowlers have very few bowlers bowl a carom balls. I'm talking about the left arm orthodox spinners. So very few left arm spinners you will find bowling the carom ball. He developed that delivery, and I remember him speaking to the broadcaster last season. He said he has been working that delivery when he was with CSK since 2019. He was working on that delivery with Mitchell Sander, but he executed those deliveries in the last season when he got a long run. But unfortunately, this season, obviously they are going with Manu Sudhar. So I think with Manu Sudhar's addition, this team is looking at, from a bowling point of view, it's complete. When it in regards to batting, I think Washington Sundar at number 4 is still. I don't know when it will be a run chase of 250 to 240. How you are going to bank on Washington Sundar to get you those runs or big runs for that matter? I still believe that this team needs Glenn Phillips, not the fielder, Glenn Phillips the batter. I think he should be there at number 4 or 5. They should have backed him, but because you don't have options. If you look at GT's squad, they don't have options. If we look at the bat from a batting point of view, they have bought in a Connor Susan, the replacement for Tom Banton. Another batter is Nishant Sindhu. He's an all-rounder. He's a bowling all-rounder who's developed into a batting all-rounder in Haryana. But apart from that, there are not many options. Anuj Rawat is there, but again, he's a top order batter from Delhi, played for RCB. So if you look at the middle order options, you don't have a middle order options in GT. I think that's why you need a Glenn Phillips. Last year you had Sharfin Rutherford, you let him go. Now at least you should go with an experienced middle order. And if you're not backing experience, you should back talent, which is Kumar Kushagra. But you're not backing Kumar Kushagra as well. So I think that is the concern for GT, and if it remains the same, I don't think this team will go through and win the title. It will be very difficult for them. Again, it will have to be top order firing and doing everything. If that happens, then it will be miracle. But let's see what happens with GT.
And as we speak, we have the toss update. Gujarat Titans have won the toss and they have chosen to bowl first. Just what Vaibhav was saying. But Bharat, your thoughts on this decision after winning the toss?
Yeah, expected. He was telling that there's a little bit of grass cover. I expect a little bit of nip off the surface, and Gujarat Titans would want to take advantage of it with their pace attack. And also, as it's a mixed soil pitch, maybe it will skid on a little more. And that's what I noted when Gujarat Titans took on Mumbai Indians. There was not much bounce, but what I saw was it skidded on a little more. There's a little more pace in the wicket. So that's what I think Gujarat Titans' spaces will expect it to. But I definitely expect a little bit of nip that surface if there is some grass, if there's a bit of grass cover.
Two
Yeah, please.
contrasting opinions from two different captains at the toss. Shubman Gill
Okay.
said because there is a grass covering, it will swing for 4-5 overs. And Rajat Patedar, contrary to it, saying that it will, because grass is there, but I don't think it will swing.
Okay. That's
Same,
pretty
same.
interesting. That's pretty interesting. But Snehashish, we have a very interesting question here. Sai Kishore used to bowl at death for GT, and GT is still missing death option. Holder is a fine addition. What are your thoughts on Sai Kishore not making it to the team?
Yeah, very surprising. I think me and Bhairav, I think we have been discussing this for a long time now that why Sai Kishore is not playing for GT. I think he's a very utility player. He can bat as well. I'm not saying that he can come out and score at 21 50. That cannot happen. But he can chip in with 20 25 runs, down the order. And he is a very smart bowler. I think his 4 overs can be very crucial. And I think he showed that. It is not that he is untested. He showed that earlier also, but it's very surprising that despite knowing his skills, why GT is not using. It's good that Manav Sutar has been tried and he has done well, but still, even I thought that Sai Kishore should have been preferred ahead of Manav Sutar. As I said, that he is a tested option and he has done well. And for the last few years, for the last 4 5 years in domestic cricket, he is a consistent performer. He is a consistent performer and he has been doing well. So it's very surprising. And not only this, I think overall so there are so many decisions that have been baffling from GT management, especially in the context of the middle order. I think the way they have been backing someone like Rahul Tewatia, Shah Rukh Khan in the middle order, despite not scoring that much of runs. I think it's quite baffling. One season, 2 seasons, I can understand, but again this season, despite not having that much of backing of runs for the last 2 years. It was quite baffling to see, and that has been the biggest concern for them in this ongoing season. In the initial games, both Shubman Gill and Josh Butler did the job for them. Now, for the last two games, Sai Sudarshan doing the job, scoring those runs. But again, the death bowling has been a concern, and as rightly mentioned by the viewer, that with the inclusion of Sai Kishore, it could have been a good option at the death. But again, I think today another game, I think we might not see Sai Kishore in action, but very surprising. Personally, I would have loved to see him action by now for GT.
Both teams are
I
playing the
agree.
same playing 11 as per the
Yeah, I was
captains.
looking for that.
I'm yet to see, because if GT is playing the same playing 11, then there is no Prasidh Krishna for this game as well.
Yeah.
Then Arshad Khan is playing, and obviously RCB has no reason to change the 11, so they are playing with the same team. I think Jacob Vithal will come in as an impact player, or maybe Devdutt Padikkar. But let's see. I am just waiting for
Yeah.
the Gujarat Titans playing 11, their impacts, whether Prasidh Krishna is there or not. If Prasidh Krishna misses out for this game as well, very surprising it will be. Because still
Yeah.
in the middle over phase, Prasidh has taken the most wickets this season. I think the
Yeah.
figure is 9 or 10. Again, very surprising.
Yeah, a very, very surprising decision indeed if he's not playing. But Vaibhav, Shailesh here is saying Gujarat Titans 51% match win. Josh Butler 100 runs. What are your predictions regarding?
Josh Butler has historically has done really well against RCB if you look at his
Yeah,
record, but this RCB, obviously as a chasing team, I would back Josh Butler to score the winning runs and make a big score, because history supports him as well, and that's what GT fans would be hoping for. But I think it looks very difficult. The best chance that GT has is, rattle the top order, take Virat Kohli, Rajat Patyadar's wicket quickly, put pressure on the middle order, because somebody like Jitesh Sharma has not been exposed yet. We all remember that 20 ball, 14 run innings. So he hasn't got the game time, and that's where he might look rusty. And GT has got a good bowling lineup, so they can put their pressure on their middle order. Tim David has come good against spin. So Tim David versus, you asked me about the player battle. So if it happens, Tim David versus Rashid Khan will be another battle to watch out for, depending on Tim David's entry point, obviously. But I think very very difficult. It is a very difficult game for GT. Although they have won the toss, they will be chasing. But again, because RCB is there, bowling is in form, so a lot rely on their top order. Again, I think RCB will win.
Bharat, your predictions?
Yeah, GT have won the toss, so maybe that will help them because if, for example, GT had lost a toss against Hazelwood and someone like Bhuvaneshwar Kumar with the ball nipping around, it could have been 10 for 2. And if Gujarat Titans lose their top order batters, then I think it was always going to be difficult for them. In that sense, maybe GT have a slightly better chance than what we would have expected them to about 30 minutes ago. So, yeah, I think it can be anybody's game. I won't give the percentage for today because Gujarat Titans have won the toss. I think in that sense it will help them a little bit because the pace attack can exploit any kind of moment up front and put RCB under some kind of pressure. And from there on, I think it would help them to win this game. Yes, my gut feeling says GT might do it, but I won't go deeper or delve deeper into it.
Confirmation: Prasidh Krishna is not there. GT
Um,
bowling first team has Arshad Khan's name. I will just read out the playing 11 of both teams. GT: Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, Josh Butler, Jason Holder, Shahrukh Khan, Washington Sundar, Arshad Khan, Rashid Khan, Kagiso Rabada, Mohammad Siraj, and Manav Sutar. This is the bowling first team. RCB batting first: Virat Kohli, Jacob Bethel, Devdutt Padikkal, Rajat Patidar, Jitesh Sharma, Tim David, Romario Shepherd, Krunal Pandya, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Suyash Sharma, and Josh Hazelwood. So most likely, I think Rasik Salam. Most likely
Yeah.
Rasik
yeah,
Salam will come in as
yeah.
an impact player.
It will.
Yes.
Snehashish, your predictions? Who's winning?
I think it's RCB. I think the kind of momentum and form, I think it will be RCB. Obviously, I think the toss, I think it's a good decision by GT to win the toss and opted to bowl first. But still, I think with the current form, the bowlers, RCB bowlers are having, it will not be easy. Doesn't matter what kind of a pitch, the dew and everything. I think the bowler is in top form, and it's a big ground. You have to remember that it is in Ahmedabad. It is not a very small ground; it's a big ground. It will not be easy. And I think Krunal Pandya will be a crucial bowler in this match. Considering the the size of the ground, it will be not easy. So let's see. But for me, it's RCB. I hope that RCB win this game and go top of the table with this win.
Mohor would be the happiest listening that two people have voted for RCB to win this game.
Well, let's see what happens. I'm trying to be neutral here. Let's see what happens. But on that note, this brings us to the end of our pre-show. Thank you so much to all our viewers for watching, for sending your questions. Thank you so much, Snehashish, Bharat, and Vaibhav for joining. And we'll be back once again after the match with our post-show. Do keep your eyes on Rev Sports. Do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And do keep supporting us like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.